A quick reaction to Getafe versus Real Madrid.
It got a little bit feisty at the end there, Alex. What more can you tell us from the end of the game?
Yeah, it did. It did. There was certainly a little bit of niggle, a little bit of controversy, a little bit of drama there at the end. You mentioned you had the penalty appeal on Brahim. I was sat as close to that as I could have been, right behind the goal, and I agree. I could not believe that wasn't given as a penalty. Yeah, there were one or two little heated moments, I have to say. In terms of the game as a whole, it was never as close as I really expected it to be. I thought Real Madrid were pretty comfortable, certainly when they got the second goal. Yes, Getafe had one or two chances, but never really felt like Getafe were in the game. And I think Real Madrid will be pretty pleased with how it went.
Today, Real Madrid was denied 2 clear-cut penalties. I wonder right now what anti-Madrid fans were doing. Because when Real Madrid got some favorable calls against Almeria, they almost made a revolution. However, when 2 decisions went against Real Madrid today, I think they're back to cave because they have nothing to discuss. They fail to understand that in La Liga, the referee is bad. They're really bad. How do you explain to me that the penalty for Vinicius Joselu at the beginning of the match and the penalty towards the end for Brahim Diaz, how those are not penalty? Those are like clear-cut, translucent like water.
Losing Rudiger right now, Ale.
Absolutely. And even with Rudiger and Nacho, they've been giving up a lot of goals. And it's not just the center-back pairing that is suffering. I think the back line as a whole suffers. And the lack of continuity and certainty in goal also has been an issue. But the Rudiger-Nacho partnership hasn't been perfect. The Tchouaméni-Nacho partnership is not an improvement. And so if there was a position on the field that Real Madrid cannot afford to lose players, it's certainly as a center-back position.
Okay, first thing first. As of recording this video, I don't have the latest updates about Rudiger. Hopefully, what Rudiger got was just a knock, nothing else. We really need him against Atletico. Given Tchouaméni, I think, already got 5th yellow card. So he's already suspended. So without Rudiger and Tchouaméni, oh my god, I don't want to even think about that. Now going back to the Elliot's point, I think Elliot is right. Rudiger and Nacho is playing together just because we don't have other center backs. Like Militao is injured, Alaba is injured, and the least you want to have is Tchouaméni and Nacho together. And you saw today a glimpse of moment, like what could happen if Nacho and Tchouaméni play together. We didn't have a lot of struggles today, but defensively we had some concerns towards the end of the match, only because Tchouaméni and Nacho was pairing. The least ideal CB partnership for Real Madrid.
Lunin to stay in between the sticks once again.
Listen, I've said all along that I thought Lunin was the better of the 2 goalkeepers between him and Kepa. It's a difficulty in that your mindset has to be that the minute Courtois is fit, I'm out of a place. That Courtois does have a long-term injury. We see how long before he returns. But I feel that Lunin, while both goalkeepers have made mistakes, for me Lunin is just a little more solid. And I thought the save he made today later on certainly justifies Carlo Ancelotti sticking with him for longer. I will double down on what Ali was saying, was it pre-game or at half-time, that allow whoever you choose to feel that they're the man. That no goalkeeper wants to be playing with the thought that one mistake, one bad performance, whatever it may be, I'm out. That restricts the goalkeeper and in the end forces them into making those errors.
Just a little bit minor correction of Shaka's point. I think in the past, Shaka said there is no difference between Lunin and Kepa. And I refuted that argument and I said, Lunin is way better than Kepa. And I was right? And you saw that Lunin's performance is significantly better than Kepa. And along with my arguments, I think Carlo also has found out that Lunin is better than Kepa. So now he's deciding that Lunin is going to start every match possible. And I told you, if you want to have one keeper, that has to be Lunin until Courtois is back.
Leading for Real Madrid, which had been their worst run in this aspect this season. So it's a clean sheet today. Was it more comfortable than you thought it would be, Luis, for Madrid?
Yeah, more comfortable. It couldn't be more comfortable. I mean, if Real Madrid wanted to play a game ahead of the Atletico de Madrid game at the weekend, he was expecting something like this. Getafe didn't put. I mean, we talked before the game what it was Getafe about. We all remember what the Barcelona players were complaining, where the Athletic Club de Bilbao were complaining, and in the end, it was an easy game. No intention, no danger, not a threat at any moment. Even when I thought that Getafe maybe was going to do, Real Madrid was walking around the pitch, so there was no intention at all of the Getafe to try to get something tonight. And Real Madrid, they was just happy. It was a gift for Real Madrid. I'm not saying that Real Madrid, of course, they were not with the idea of getting a good result. Of course, it was. But you could see that the Real Madrid players didn't even put another gear. So, yeah, a very easy game, very comfortable game. 3 points, and they continue. They are cruising mode in the La Liga at the top of the league, and now they have to look forward for Atletico Madrid derby.
I think Luis wanted Real Madrid to lose points against Getafe so that his beloved team, Barca or Atletico, have some slight chance for La Liga title. Anyway, jokes aside, I think Luis was right in terms of the way Real Madrid played today. At times, the way Real Madrid was playing, it felt like training ground. Like there's no competition. When Madrid was attacking, every attack was a chance. Like every possible attack was a chance. Every time they are going forward, they are going so easy, like almost no obstacle by Getafe. And that brings us to the main point. Today's formation and lineup selection was just on point by Carlo. I didn't expect this possible rotation. However, I think there was 7 changes from last lineup, which is also important. Like Joselu against Getafe was ideal because in general, today's exception, in general, Getafe is very low block team. They try to defend very low block with a lot of players. So when you have Joselu, that's ideal. You can deliver some pass, some long balls to him. Maybe he will do something. Maybe he can win header, right? With my surprise, Getafe played really high-line football, and which is exactly what Madrid wants to play against, right? There's no team in this world is better than Real Madrid when you play high-line like Getafe played today. When you give any single space or that much space to this Real Madrid team, it will be havoc. And today, we're unfortunate that we only scored 2 goals. Well, we also missed a lot of big chances that I'll discuss later on.
They do. And Alex, a lot more brownie points today as well for Joselu. It seems to be that that's becoming a regular occurrence for Real Madrid this season.
Look, he's a very useful player. He's a very useful player to have in the squad. That's not a massive surprise. I think we knew that he'd scored goals. You know, he scored goals for Espanyol. So, of course, he's going to score goals for Real Madrid with the kind of service you get being a centre-forward in a Real Madrid team. Of course, he's not the big name that you might expect to be leading the line. But for Real Madrid, he's not a Karim Benzema, but he's a very effective player. He's a really good player.
So I don't want to spend so much time talking about Joselu. I'll give you one stat. Joselu scored, I think, 13 goals for Real Madrid this season. Lewandowski also scored the same amount of goals. So that tells you the importance of having Joselu in our squad. The difference between last season and this season, there are a lot of, right? But one of them is Joselu. As a super sub, or as a utility player, he's crucial. Last season, we had Hazard and Mariano, who were barely scoring any single goal. So having Joselu is like a super up from the game. And today, he not only scored 2 goals, he could score a hat-trick. Here are a couple of things I have to discuss from today's match. There are not a lot of points we can discuss today because every tactical decisions Carlo made worked out pretty well. Only one thing I would say, there are a couple of points. First of all, I just did not like how long Modric played today. Like, he's 38 years old. I think he's one player you want to sub him out after a certain amount of time. Being said that, performance-wise, of course, the man of the match has to be given to Joselu because of his winning goals. Let's discuss a little bit about Vinicius' miss. 2 easy miss. First of all, if I'm Vini, what I have to think about finishing the goal. I don't think about fashion style. I don't have to score a goal with some silky move. Football is simple. Just score the goal. That's all. That's all Vini has to do. Sometimes, don't make it complicated. Keep it simple. Score the goals. Also, if you look at performance, Bellingham and Modric were kind of subdued in first half. However, in second half, they accelerated their gear. They upped their game. And we saw the difference. We were playing much better with their intensity. Like both of them were playing so great. Modric kind of reminded me of that vintage Modric, like what he can do. He upped his game. And Bellingham, I don't know, in second half, I felt every attack we were creating, every chance we were creating was going through Bellingham. Like he was almost everywhere in attack. And I'm not gonna lie, I also liked the way Vasquez and Mendy played. I think this season, one good news for us is that Mendy has been consistent for us. He's getting better, and which is important. You know that if you want to win Champions League, we need that good Mendy. Like Mendy has two versions. One is like weak Mendy, like who plays bad. The other is like solid at defense. We want to see a Mendy who is 100% in his form. Anyway, let me know, what did you think about our performance today?